How's it going, you guys? It is a beautiful day out right now. I'm off work early, which is really exciting, and now it's time to film a Q&A. So we did 6 videos last week, and I think I told you guys the week before that I was going to only be doing 5 videos, and surprise, there were 6 of them. So I think it was a good week. It was a very busy week, and we got a lot done on the property. This week is going to be a crazy week. This is the week that we go to Texas to go see my mom, and I'm so excited. We leave Thursday, and so this week there's definitely going to be less videos. I don't know how many less videos. We're traveling on a Thursday, and so I'm gonna try to get as much done and filmed as possible. But also, we're there to hang out with family, so I want to try to keep as much family time as possible. So there may only be like 4 videos out this week, but I would like to show you guys around Texas what we're doing, because like I said, we're going to go to, there's an aquarium, and there's a light show that we're going to, and there's also this community. I thought it was an Amish community. It's not an Amish community, but it is very much like the Amish community. Where they like make all of their things from scratch, and it's really, really cool. It's called Heritage Homestead, and I'm really excited to take you guys along for that video. That's going to be a really cool place. So we're going to turn into a travel vlog next week. So just be prepared. But anyways, we did 6 videos. We did the Q&A, which talked about the secret garden and containers breaking during winter. Then we did planting the best plant for major winter impact, plant shopping for tomorrow's project, potting up holiday arrangements. Frost came, I guess I won't see it bloom, I was so sad about. And I had this rose garden all to myself. So it was a really, really good week. The rose garden video, that was kind of like a very unplanned video, and I wasn't planning on even stopping there. I had actually dropped my sister off at the airport to go back to Texas, and which is funny, she was out here and then we're gonna see her again. So we dropped her off there, and I was looking, well, what's in the area, and there was a rose garden, and I thought that would be a really cool thing to stop at. And my plan was just drop her off at the airport, and then I was going to Janie's to go drop off some containers to her, and I wasn't even gonna film anything, and then I filmed a whole rose tour. So there was the video that I wasn't planning on shooting that got to come up. So let's jump into this week's questions. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, so I'm not pulling a whole lot from this week's videos. So the first video from last week was the Q&A, and the first question on that video was from Patty, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, I probably missed it, but are you finally able to remove the tree you hate so much?" Okay, there were so many questions about the tree this week for some reason. Did I show the tree? I didn't even show the tree this week. Okay. There were so many questions about this tree this week. I think there was like 6 or 7 of you guys that asked about it. And we are going to be removing the tree. Yes, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. I have a client who does tree removal, and he has a family member that lives up here. His company's in Chico, and he said that when he comes up here for his family member to remove some trees, he's going to stop by and see what he needs to be able to do it for us. And so we're kind of just like waiting for him to do it, but it is happening, and I'm really hoping that it happens here in the next like couple months, a month or 2. So it is happening. We are like, I guess, scheduled with one of my clients, and but we're kind of like lower on the list for when it happens, because he's kind of doing us a big favor. So it is going to happen. The next question on that video was from Mystic Firefly, and she had said, question, if I were to order something from your store, what would shipping be to Central Canada? Okay, so we've kind of like kept shipping for international off of our docket, because I didn't want to deal with customs. I didn't want to deal with the craziness. Like, I've never done a store like this before, and so we were kind of like, oh, we'll see what happens. But if you shoot us an email at visitourgarden@gmail.com, Brent will take care of it, and he can calculate what shipping will be for you to get that out to you guys. Yeah, so if you're international and you want something, shoot him an email with what you want and your address, and we will calculate the shipping and give you a reply back to let you know what it is, and then we can talk about like payment processing after that. The next question on that video is from a friend, and they had said, "Thank you, Robbie and Brent. The table next to you is so beautiful. Is the table from a family or from an antique shop? It was actually found on Facebook, and I think I got it for like 40 bucks. And it's like Carrara marble top and super vintage old table. Facebook Marketplace find. I love searching Facebook for antiques. We find a lot of stuff from there, but it's California. There's not many good deals, so it takes a minute. But Facebook. The next question on that video was from Hot Mess Farm, and they had said, I love your house. Would you be open to put out a tour video and talk about what y'all changed when you moved in? That'd be a really good video to do this winter time, probably sometime after we get back. Our house is tiny though, so it would be a really quick tour. But we could put up all the like listing photos from when we bought the house, what it looked like, and we could totally do that. That would be really easy. But our house is tiny, so be prepared for that, like less than 1,000 square feet. The next question on that video is from My Precious Garden, and they had said, hi Robbie, seeing your rug behind you, I wonder how you deal with it and your dogs to keep it nice and clean, especially when your dog comes home from the garden. Okay, so that's a brand new rug. We went over a year without a rug in our living room, specifically because of the dogs and how awful it is with dogs having rugs. And we live in the country and everything is dusty all the time. Now, 2 of the dogs, they sleep in the laundry room. Wesley can't walk on the linoleum flooring without slipping and falling, so we had to make shift a way for him to get to his bed in the laundry room. And Sadie has a incontinence issue at nighttime, so she also sleeps in the laundry room. So right now Freya's the only one in there, and she's not allowed to come in there until we wipe her feet off during the wet months, which it's California, so it's not that wet. But yeah, we tend to not keep rugs very long, like maybe a year at most, because it's rough with dogs. That's how we keep them nice and clean. The last question on that video is from Marsha, and she had said, hi Robbie, congrats on your new merch. Will you do hoodies and long sleeve tees in the future? I am not 100% sure if we will be doing that. I would like to say yes, because you guys know I'm always in hoodies. I'm in one right now, and I'm also always in the long sleeve tees. I have one on under here. And so I want to say yes. But we have so many projects going on that I didn't want to put too much on my plate. So probably in the future. I don't know when in the future though. So yes. Long story short. Yes, in the future. The next video that we did was the planting the best plant for major winter interests, and I'm so happy to have that plant on our property. I have been wanting that plant for over a year, and so I'm so happy that we found it. It was the berry Poppins by Proven Winners, and it's perfect for landscapes because it doesn't get absolutely massive. The traditional winter berries get huge, and so this is the more compact version of it, and I think I found the perfect spot for it. So I'm really excited about it. The first question on that video was from JV, and she had said, new subscriber here, love the berry Poppins bush so much. Also, your willow tree is very impressive. What kind is it? And being a 9B zone here in the East Bay, I'm surprised the willow is doing so well. Would love to have one in my yard also. What is your magic? So we have a globe willow, and it actually does really, really well here. And I mean, if you're in the Bay Area, it would be beautiful for you guys because you guys aren't getting nearly as hot as we get. Ours kind of struggles a little bit in the winter or in the summertime, and so we give it a ton of water. I will put the hose on it and let it just soak into the ground for an hour at least once a week is what I do. It needs more water than you think that you should be giving any plant ever. They are water hungry plants, and so that is the major magic trick and tip is give that thing as much water as possible, especially in the first 2 years of its life. I would say twice a week you need to be soaking that thing with water. We have sprinkler heads that go and get it soaking wet. The ground is always wet around it. That is the biggest tip. The next question on this video is from Janet, and she had said, will the birds eat the poppin berries? Yes, absolutely. The birds will definitely eat the berries. Somebody had commented on the video saying that they had planted one and they had got a show of berries, and they came out the next day and the berries were completely gone. So yes, the birds will eat the berries. We do supply a ton of food. Otherwise, we have 2 bird feeders that we try to keep pretty well stocked with food, hoping that they go for those instead of going for the things that I don't want them to eat. And the next question on this video is from Bev, and she had said, so Robbie, does the Mr. Poppins have to be within direct wind distance of the Mrs. Poppins, or can it be in the front yard with the house between it and Mrs. Poppins and just hope that its pollen blows in the breeze around or over the house to Mrs. Poppins. How intimate do they have to be? Okay, so nope, just within about 50 feet, and that's kind of like the safe range. It could definitely go in the front yard. They don't have to be touching each other intimate, but the pollen is going to be transferred by pollinators, so bees, butterflies, things like that. And usually if they go to one, bees usually stay within a certain range of plants before they head back to their hive. So that's why they say 50 feet is kind of like the range, and the house can definitely be between the two of them. The next question on that video is from Teresa, and she had said, that berry Poppins plant is beautiful. I haven't seen it in any of the local garden centers or big box stores. Where did you purchase it? If you were near me, they had it up at Winter Gardens, right here where I'm wearing the sweatshirt. That's where I got the Mr. Poppins and the Mrs. Poppins, and I don't think that they were that badly priced. I don't remember exactly what I paid for them, but I think it was like $25 or $35 or something like that. But Winter Gardens has it. You might be able to look on Proven Winners on their website and see if you can buy it from there. The next question on that video is from Shotzi, and they had said, very pretty plant. I can't wait to see it with the leaves and flowers on it. Do you think that you planted it too close to the fence? From the front view, it didn't look like the backside had much room to grow. Yeah, it is a little bit close, but that's kind of what I do with plants. I want to be able to use as much space as possible. So plants, if it grows 4 feet wide, it'll grow 4 feet from the center, forward, backwards, and side to side. It's got about a foot behind. It's actually probably about 1.5 feet actually. So it's a little bit close, but not too close. It doesn't need 4 feet behind it. It just needs half of the distance that it's going to grow from the center of the stalk of the plant. So I think if it's a 6-foot plant, it needs 3 feet from the center. And so maybe it's 1.5 feet back behind up to the fence. So it'll be a little bit close and it'll touch the fence. That really won't affect the plant too much though. And the last question on that video is from Major Rex, and they had said, good morning, Robbie. The rooster made me laugh every time. If someone doesn't have enough room for a shrub that size, could it be pruned to keep it a little bit smaller? That rooster though. The roosters, yeah. I'm surprised they're not going off right now. But I probably wouldn't. This is the compact sized plant. There is a much larger version of this plant, and this is a plant that you kind of want to just let it grow to its full maturity and leave it be. Like I said, if you're going to be pruning on it, you're going to cut out the berries for next year, so it's not really worth it. I would say find space in your garden for it or enjoy it in somebody else's. The next video that we posted was plant shopping for tomorrow's project. And I love going to the plant barn, and I love hanging out with Bailey. She is so much fun at the plant barn. So if you guys make it there, she tells me every time that somebody comes in there. So make sure you say hi to her. Let's just jump into the questions though. The first question on that video was from Deb, and she had said, OMG, what is that purple bush next to the David Austin topiary rose? Okay, so Bailey actually commented on the video, and she replied to you. It is a Salvia leucantha. It's a Mexican sage. So Bailey knows everything. The next question on that video was from Lorraine, and she had said, beautiful poinsettias. I love your new plants and pots. Do you plan to plant your poinsettia in the garden, or is it going to remain a houseplant all year? So here's the thing. I have never kept a poinsettia alive past Christmas. They usually decline pretty quick for me. So I don't do very good with them. And so my thought was, I think it was $18 for the poinsettia, and I'm gonna count it as I got the pot for free. The pot was maybe an $8 pot. So it was a $10 plant that I get to enjoy for winter time, and I'm not gonna try to winter it over. And the last question on that video was from a friend, and they had said, are you covering your Christmas plant every night for 14 hours? For those of you that don't know, poinsettias, if you want them to change that color and start getting their color, normally they will be green all year round. But if you want them to put on a show like that, they need 14 hours of complete darkness. So what a lot of growers will do is they put them in an area where it is pitch black for 14 hours, and then they get the light, and that's what stimulates them to start changing their colors. I bought this one the way that it was already changed, so I don't need to worry about that. Once it's already started that process, it's good to go. But if I were to hang on to this one, if I wanted the same show of color next year, I would have to, for I don't even know how long it is, it's quite a while though, I would have to put the plant somewhere where it gets complete darkness for 14 hours and then bring it somewhere where it gets light for the remaining 10 hours of the day. So it's a lot of work. So that's why I don't try to winter them over. But I don't have to for this one because it already has all of its color. The next video that we posted was potting up holiday arrangements. I'm in love. These turned out so much better than I thought that they were going to turn out. I mean, I figured they would turn out really nice, but they turned out really, really nice. I was thinking if they didn't turn out that amazing that like I might gift some of them, but I really liked them, so they're not going to be gifts. The first question on that video is from Heidi, and she had said, "Beautiful Robbie, loved watching you make the willow ivy support. They all turned out so great. Is there any reason you don't separate or rough up the roots when you're planting?" So for certain plants, if it's not like extremely root bound, I won't do it. The poinsettia, I probably could have done it, but I'm not going to treat it as a plant that I'm keeping forever, so I wasn't too worried about it. Honestly, for the most part, like, you really don't have to rough up plants. It will figure it out eventually. And so I used to rough them up all the time, but I totally stopped doing that, and I didn't see any difference when planting. So it was one more step that I was able to eliminate. The next question on that video is from Victoria, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, do you not need to plant daffodils as deep in pots as you do in the ground? I potted up some yesterday and made sure I had a minimum of 4 inches of soil on the top. Should I replant them with less soil on the top?" It really doesn't matter that much. I mean, so for the most part, that is to be able to help continue to give the plant support. And in the landscape, you definitely want to make sure that you go twice the depth of the bulb, which is about 4 inches deep. You're totally fine if you've got 4 inches. The reason that I planted them not nearly as deep is because I still wanted to make sure that there was at least 1.5 inches of like root room for the roots to be able to grow. And then I put the support up. So the depth is really to be able to give it so that the flower stalk doesn't snap off when it gets up out of the ground. And so if you've gave it that 4 inches of room and you've still got a little bit of room underneath, then you're totally golden. That's mostly for like landscape. It really doesn't matter too much. I've even seen people that have put the bulbs just right on top of the soil and then they let them grow up that way, as long as they gave it a trellis, some type of support. So nope, what you did is totally perfect. The next question on that video is from Carla, and she had said, "What an eye-popping project. Beautiful. I enjoy hearing the roosters. Is there only one? Also, I enjoyed watching your finches fly around behind you. Do the finches recognize your voice, and do they behave differently when you get near their enclosure?" There are 2 roosters next door. They're not our roosters. They are our next door neighbor Karen's roosters. There's 2 of them, and they're the ones that have like the fluffy feathers on the top. They're really funny looking. They don't bother me at all. We love hearing it. It kind of cracks us up every single time. And the finches, they know exactly who we are, and we walk up to their cage, and if you say hi to them, all of a sudden they all start making noises, or if you unlock the door to their enclosure to go inside to go feed them, they all get really excited and they fly up to the branches. So they definitely act different when they know exactly who we are. The next question on that video was from Charlotte, and she had said, "Where did you get the pots, please?" Those were from Home Goods, and I think I'd said it in the video previous to this one, but Home Goods, and they were one that I had bought 1 pot, and then a few days later I decided to go back and I had to buy every single one of them. I love shopping at Home Goods for pots and containers like that. They always have really good prices. And the last one on that video was from Anne, and she had said, "Robbie, you are a gardener and a designer extraordinaire. You should open up a small garden shop. I know I would be shopping there every week. You have so many wonderful and creative ideas. Have you considered doing something like having a small shop?" Before YouTube took off and started to really take off, I had really considered it. We'd been looking at properties to buy, and we'd been looking at spaces to rent, and really thought about it. And then YouTube started taking off, and YouTube requires so much energy. It's a full-time job. So I don't think that I would have the time now to be able to do that. But it was something that I thought about for quite a while, and I don't think I enjoy retail, like, at all. So I think that you guys are just gonna have to enjoy projects through the camera. But thank you so much. The next video was Frost Came, and I guess I won't see it bloom, and that's when we didn't get to see the tree dahlia bloom, or the Dahlia Imperial. I'm so heartbroken about that, but there's always next year. The first question on that video was from Kim, and she had said, I always wonder what happens in nature. What would happen to the dahlia tree if you had never touched it? The stalks would start to rot and decay, and because we're in a warmer zone that doesn't get super freezing cold, frigid temperatures, it would just sprout, which is exactly what it'll do next year. So it'll basically naturalize, and it'll start to slowly spread its little tubers and clumps throughout that area, and we would get more and more. That's exactly what would happen. The next question on that video is from Mavis, and she had said, lucky you, I make piles, but my husband could care less about gardening. They're still there when I come back. Well, Brent doesn't have a choice. Where did the name Freya come from? And yes, you did spell it correctly. That was actually Brent's decided. I let Brent name her. This was supposed to be Brent's dog, and it is basically my dog now. But it was from a TV show called Witches of East End that Brent was obsessed with, and that was one of the characters. So that's how we chose the name. The next question on that video was from Lorraine, and she had said, quick question. Aren't you afraid of growing grapes since it looks like your dogs have full access to them? They have full access to them, but our dogs do not eat anything except for Freya, and she only eats the pecans that come from our neighbor's tree, and pecans are supposed to be super toxic to dogs, but she eats so many of them. So I'm not really worried about it. Our dogs have never been ones to like eat anything in the garden. Freya will eat a stick occasionally, like to chew on it, or she eats pecans. So, nope, I'm not worried about it. If my dogs did eat them and did eat my plants, like if I knew that I would come out and I would see them chewing on things, I probably would be way more cautious about it and not plant things like that. The next question on that video was from a friend, and they had said, would it help Brent if you raked the leaves into a blanket or a tarp? I don't know. Where did you say all of the cleanup stuff goes? We have a green waste bin that comes by every 2 weeks, or our trash company comes by and they pick up all of our green waste. So we have 2 green waste bins that are absolutely massive, and we fill both of them up year round. So we have our trash company comes along and picks up green waste, and then we also have a recycling bin, and they come pick up recycling, and then our trash bin. So we have 4 giant trash cans. The next question on that video was from Anne, and she had said, I love the look of all amaranth varieties. I understand that amaranth will readily sow itself everywhere. Have you found that to be a huge problem in your garden? Amaranth everywhere. Also, since diatomaceous earth is a powder, how do you apply it to the upper portions of the hop bush? Okay, so the amaranth, we have grown it now for I think 3 or 4 years, and I've only ever had it come up in the exact area that it was planted, not all over the place. And I know that hundreds and hundreds, thousands of seeds are being dropped, and very few actually even come up. So I haven't had a problem with it, and it's been a few years. We'll see next year, because we grew a whole bunch of amaranth in the cut flower garden. We will see how much pops up in that space, but I really don't see it to be too much of a problem. And then applying the powder to the hops bush, we have a little like sprayer thingy that our DE came with, and so it like you put it in this like little pump thing and it shoots the powder out of it, so we're able to reach it up into higher areas like that. The next question on that video was from It's Our Country Cottage, and they had said, what's the variety of evergreen behind your super petunias? Cypress of some sort? Yep, that is a lemon cypress, and that is one that's been in the ground now for 3 years or something like that. It was tiny when we planted it. It was like this big when we planted it. So quite quick growing, and I don't expect it to get maybe another foot or 2 taller, and that's about cap for that guy. So lemon cypress, and it smells so good. So that is it for those questions, but I did want to say that quite a few of you guys had commented saying that we could take the tree dahlia stalks and root them, and we had already thrown them away. So we will try that next year, because that would be pretty cool if I was able to take cuttings from it and root that. I know you can do it with other dahlias, but I didn't know you could do it with a tree dahlia, because those were some hardy stalks. I will try that out. And the last video for the week was I had this rose garden all to myself, and that was amazing. It was so beautiful, it was so cold, and it was so early in the morning. So let's just jump into the questions on that one. The first question on that video was from Laura, and she had said, thank you for braving the cold weather to give us a tour of this beautiful rose garden. How special to have it all to yourself. As a Californian, do you even own a pair of gloves? Nope, I do not own any gloves, and I don't know. I don't see myself owning. I don't even own a heavy jacket. This is the heaviest like coat that I own right here. So we'll see. We get cold and we might hit like 30 degrees in a winter time. Also, I'm in shorts today, so if that tells you anything. The next question on that video was from Fabric and Flowers, and they had said, "Oh wow, love the boxwoods. Can you visit this again when everything is in bloom?" I will absolutely be visiting this again when everything is in bloom. I think Pamela had said that she is going in April, and maybe we will meet up in April for going to like tour that place again, because Janie also would like to go there. So maybe we'll do a little meetup in April, which is my birthday month. So maybe we will go out and do some shopping and go look at plants. Not that it needs to be my birthday for me to want to do any of that. The next question on that video was from Happy to Be Here, and they had said, "Have you heard of the Russian River Rose Company in Healdsburg? They have a huge growing and sales area. I love the monthly classes. The variety and amount of roses is amazing. I hope you can make it there soon. They have a nice website too, so you can check out the classes." I am going to be looking into that tonight because I'm always down for classes, and you guys know I love roses. So thank you for that. I had never heard of them, and this is why I love when you guys comment and tell me all of these things, because I learned so much. So I'm gonna check them out. The next question on that video was from Progress Not Perfection, and they had said, "Gorgeous, I love it. Question: have you asked them if you can take cuttings of the roses you loved? Maybe you could use rooting hormone and start new plants. Then you would know you got the exact one." Okay, so there was nobody there. The office wasn't even opened. It was like 7 a.m. when I was there. And I think that might be actually a really good idea to see. I want to see if I can talk to somebody and maybe interview somebody there and get more details about the entire place, because it was so magical and I cannot wait to see it in the like springtime and summertime. But yeah, I would really like to find that one rose, so maybe they'll give me a cutting. Which roses are really easy to root, by the way. I've done it over and over and over again with certain roses that we have on the property. I have like 4 of them sitting in our driveway right now. And the last question this week was from Sun Moonrise, and she had said, "Is this the same garden Janie go with her mom earlier this year?" It is not. Janie had never been to this one, and she was really excited to go check it out with me. I don't remember the name of the place that she went to with her mom. The one that Janie had gone to, I think it's called Filoli Gardens, which I have never checked out either, and so I would like to also check that one out. So, totally different place, so that's kind of exciting. So that is going to be it for this week, you guys. Crazy amount of projects to get done next week, and so much traveling, and we're going to be so busy, and I cannot wait to show you guys everywhere that we go. It is going to be so much fun going to Texas. We have an aquarium that we're going to, we have a light show that we're going to, we have this little community that we're going to, and family time, and it's going to be a really good trip. But that video might be out Friday, possibly Saturday. But like I said, there's probably only going to be 4 videos next week, just with traveling and spending time with family. And the same thing for the week after that, because we get back into town Monday, and usually on Sunday and Monday I film a lot of the videos that I need to film for the week, and so it's going to put me very far behind for the week after when we get back. This next 2 weeks is going to be a little bit crazy with the posting schedule. So thank you guys as always for coming along with me. I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.